he'll understand what that means. He'll just gesture for you to follow him. You'll follow that man probably into some crazy dark alley hidden in the corner somewhere. And that's when he'll open the attaché case and show you the product. And people will think that, this guy's doing something extremely dangerous, that he's a heroin dealer or something. And no, really, he just opens it and here's this bottle of e-liquid, and he's gonna go, "Hey, I got the stuff right here. It's that fire 3 milligrams. None of that bargain basement bullshit. This is that premium." And you're gonna pay top dollar for it, because that's how the black market works.
And we are live. Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Hello. We got creepy for a second. I'm perfectly okay with it. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Let's start. Just hang out for a minute. Wait till see if people get notifications and all that good stuff. Maybe people will flow in. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
Not,
a lot of competition on this interweb these days. Lots of great people out there.
Go on, and we're here to let the show go on. Shut up, YouTube. With the YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth streaming. Shut up. It's going okay. May be choppy, but it'll get better. I promise.
Hey, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Dangle clacks will happen. We will always roll with those punches, left, right, hook, jab, jab. Roll with it.
Will be dangled, but we'll be fixing it.
Absolutely. We will always get it together. I see some fantastic friends already showing up in the chat. I'd like to say a big shout out to Mr. True Vapors. Listen, if you guys don't know, he's got a show coming up this Saturday. It's got some very good friends of his, and the show not only is going to talk about vaping, but it's also going to talk about mental health. I encourage everybody to go over there and check this out. It's a UK show, so getting our times straight is going to be a little bit difficult, but it's 2:30 on the East Coast, so that should be, oh gosh, now I gotta work backwards. That's 1:30 Central, 12:30 Mountain, 11:30 a.m. for our Pacific Coast friends. And I highly encourage you guys to go check that out. Should be a fantastic show. The people behind it are...
like Gabe in here. Gabe, what are you doing? Someone like Gabe out of the frickin' glue again.
Well,
I thought we told Michelle to hide that damn key, but apparently it's not working.
It is the nature of the Gabe.
Yeah. Nature of the game. And the Dunkelcroy New Groove and Pantless Banana Parade. I have no idea where that come from. Where did that come from? I need to learn to English. How about that? That's what I need to learn.
Dunkelcroy's New Groove and Pantless Banana Parade is the new movie coming out. It stars Poonsauce McNasty as Dunkelcroy. And it's going to be very entertaining, as you're going to see. He's going to dance. He's going to sing. He's going to make you laugh. He's going to make you cry. He's going to make you feel again.
I feel like that's just like a narration of my life.
No one's buying that, huh?
No.
Okay,
well, it's just gonna be me walking around with a banana hammock, be like, woo!
It might just be the next time that Corey gets drunk. Maybe that's just the title of the adventure.
That may be it too. Who knows? It's all Stan. Hey. Apparently, it's all Stan that made the name. I don't know.
Yeah, some guy named Stan. I heard he's a really good troll. Likes to send people potatoes.
Fucking dickhead.
So before we get into the hot topic,
why don't we talk about our buffets? What are you vaping on, Sean?
Yeah. What you think? So today, I got something new in, and we're just talking about that trolley kind of guy. So I'm gonna pull this out. Bam. Got that aluminum dreamer, but I got that new colored ardent cap. They are out. They are available at lucidrda.com. And if I had only taken more care of my dreamer, it wouldn't be so faded, and those colors would match identically. And who doesn't want their match game to be this on point? On top of that, just to darken things up a little bit, it's that Get Off My Lawn by DHD and the Chop Top. Loving it. And I'm vaping on Pearberry from my friends at 62 Distribution.
I tried some of that. at NVE. Holy shit, it's fucking delicious.
Pear, strawberry, blackberry. These guys crush it. The boys at 62, they know a thing or two about pear flavor for sure. Up next, would you look at that? It's that all copper Unicorn MDX. Tina's starting to really get heavy on that RDA, which I'm loving.
Yeah, you can start seeing like the darker parts of it.
It's getting there. And of course, the melted popsicle drip tip from DHD as well. And in that, still smashing that Dragon Shake from Deep Cuts. Dragon Shake is outstanding. If anybody has never tried it, if you like dragon fruit milkshakes, I'd get on board. Lastly, the Micro 18650 fully mechanical squonker. Got the GR1 sitting on top with the little micro tip action from DHD. And that's also the Get Off My Lawn colorway. And inside of that, we're rocking some 12 Monkeys Kanzi. And this one is the strawberry watermelon kiwi. And these guys do it really, really well. It's such it's a flavor profile that so many companies have done before, but this one did it right. As a person that's not a huge fruit fan, I like it a lot, so that should really come as a big cosign. And yeah, man, that's it for me. So I'm going to pass it back to you. What you got?
What am I vaping on? I got a few things. Actually, all of it's practically the same as Monday, but I'll show it off again, because why the fuck not? I got my Cyclone Mods Evo DNA 200 with the gear on top. Inside of there, I got some Superb, the white peach. And then next, I got my... Hold on. Hold, please. My Brizzo with the APOC 25. And then a Gator Board drip tip on top of there. And inside of there, I'm vaping on some fried banana. Like a little sample in a bottle that I've had sitting around. Trying to
old school.
Go through that.
Fried does some good stuff, man. Yeah. I mean, they got the fried Oreo one, the fried banana. There's another one they did too. Like, it's a good line.
And then next, I got the SQ 18650 with the Hadley on top. And then inside of there, I got some Free Range Vapor, Bad Mother Clucker. And then finally, my go-to setup I've been dealing with lately, I've been taking it everywhere with me. I got my black electroplated Dreamer with the Rebirth RTA on top. DHD chopped top on there. I forgot which one this is called, but it matched the setup I had my Rebirth on before, but I've just been too lazy to change it to match the mod, but I don't really care. And then inside of there, I got my little whatever I'm starting to get low of my Millionaire Mango. Yeah, that's it for me.
Did you see the sale? This is a news topic in case anybody is a big independent vapor fan. They've got a sale coming up where all the IVC juices are going to be like ridiculously inexpensive. Like,
no, that's not a sale. That's their new prices.
Like 100 mils at what was it?
$11, I think.
$11.99, I think, something like that. Guys, Millionaire. If you've ever thought to try it, now's your time. That new price structure, why wouldn't you?
Get the 60 mils.
Literally cheap enough to buy it to try it. It's like $10 for a 60.
$10 for a 60.
Yeah, worth it.
I highly recommend anybody going over to independentvaporcompany.com and picking up a bottle of this Mango Millionaire. It's fucking
And you know
amazing.
what? Just for fun, tell them the Ohmies sent you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a thing, yeah.
Absolutely. Tell them the
Put
Ohmies
that in
sent
your special instructions the Ohmies sent me. And yeah, who knows? Something special might be thrown into your box. You never know. And that's what I said. It's not a sale. It's new pricing. That's what I said, Dan, okay? Okay.
That's my fault. I thought it was just a sale
Damn it,
going
Dan.
on.
Stop yelling at me.
Like, y'all are bugging.
Dad, stop yelling.
It's like a fire sale, only not a sale at all. So what are you doing? Get up on it. Get you some IVC liquids like Stat. Yeah. Order it, buy it, go. With that new price structure, see, OhmMyLanta throwing it up in there right now. All those liquids, 60 mils for $9.99, 100 mils for $11.99. You can't go wrong. In the words of Green, cheap enough to buy it just to try it. So go get you some liquid, folk. And that's what's in the news.
Yep, that's
back to you, Poonsauce.
That's the non-newsy news segment, I guess. If that makes any sense, I don't know. Okay, so
so should we get into the topic du jour?
The topic du jour. It's very fancy. We're not.
Thought I'd bring a classy way into this real quick.
Something really classy for some not so classy people.
Hey, it's cool.
So today we're going to be talking about a little bit of a divided subject, because a lot of people have different opinions on this stuff. Me and Sean kind of have the same standpoint on this. That's why we decided to talk about it. But today we're going to be talking about petitions. We all know petitions have been around for a while. They've been around for as long as I can remember, in various different avenues of what people are petitioning and all that stuff. But recently we've gotten involved and aware through petitions with vaping, with how back in the day there's been petitions with like the change.org thing. But let us tell you a quick little bit of what we think about change.org. We've seen all these petitions come out through them. And Sean, you probably agree with me on this, that any petition you see on change.org, don't take it seriously.
See, that this is the thing. Like, when it comes down to petitions, right? We need to go back to the very beginning, like of what petitions did. And petitions were an individual or a group of individuals with a specific goal in mind, going out, meeting the people in the streets with a pen and a paper and saying, can I get you to sign this petition to save the rainforest? Can I get you to sign this petition, to get Governor blah, blah, blah to change this? And it was effective. Reason being is that they had signatures of their constituents literally on a piece of paper saying that this is what they wanted. And then it was presented, and, they would get this thick stack of paper set down and say, here you go, 100,000 names, all people in the town or all people in the city that want this to happen. And we urge you to do this. And those elected officials, acting in the best interest of the people, would decide that, all right, I'm going to follow the petition and I'm going to go ahead and do these things. Over time, that process has, shifted. Some of that to do with technology, some of it to do with people trying to find new ways to keep it, an active process. And in that, people are going to find ways to monetize it. Change.org is an example of that. That is a business monetizing what looks like a practice in your civic duties, if you will. And unfortunately, Change.org has no requirement anywhere to submit your petition at any point, regardless of how many signatures, to anybody for anything. And so you see kids doing things like, trying to use it to create a petition to petition their teachers to let them out on a half day. Well, even if they do present it to the teacher doesn't care. You know what I mean? And so a program like that serves very little purpose. It takes somebody behind it to use it effectively. So when I say that, I mean, if someone's using it as a tool to collect signatures of their constituents, and then are going to print said stacks of documented, signatures and submit to a local representative, we get back to that effectiveness. But unfortunately, we kind of lose sight of that. Poonsauce was alluding to it earlier that not too far back, a lot of people got really caught up in a change.org fever with a couple of different petitions that had circulated. And as we saw, people were getting, very emotionally attached to the process. And rightfully so. We're passionate about this topic. But unfortunately, as we all saw, change.org had no requirement to present that to elected officials. And I can't say for certain because I don't know who was initially behind them, but I don't know if those people ever, took those in a documented form and gave them physically to a representative.
It's what the thing about a lot of petitions is, Liv made a really good point about it, was it allows people to feel like they're doing something while doing absolutely nothing. Okay, it kind of gives people the feeling that they're actually making a difference by either typing in their name and their address on a document, when the real thing is you should be using the most important thing that you own, that is more important than any kind of physical item you may have. It's the most important thing that you have, that it will always be yours, and that's your voice. You're taking an easy way out to feel like you're doing something when, like Liv said, you're not doing anything at all. Because what really should be happening is you should be using that voice to what we totally have been preaching since we started the show, but using your voice to what we need to do now is the main thing we need to do right now is change the public opinion on this industry.
Mm-hmm.
And signing a petition saying that you don't agree with what the government's doing is not really, they're not affected by it. They're not. They're just saying, okay, it's people writing their name on a piece of fucking paper. They're going to give me a piece of paper with names on it. What is that going to do? What kind of thing is that going to show me what their opinion actually is?
Well, and that's the problem here, right? Is that, when we're talking about something like change.org, we're literally talking about more than 99% of the time, I would bet, it not even getting submitted to the right people for it to even, have them look at it and say, meh.
No, I
so,
bet you.
We have a term for this. To summarize what Liv was saying, there's a term in the activism world that we use for this, and it's called Slacktivism. And it basically is just that. It's doing those things that actually have no effect but make you feel good about yourself. And I don't want to put anybody down who has only, gone that far, because I didn't understand at the beginning what I was doing when I got involved in some of those petitions. And then I started to think, well, wait a minute, let me do some digging and see, like, what kind of percentages are we talking about where these petitions do any good? And that was when I realized that, a company like change.org is of no use to us. It is a tool that we can use to compile names of, that interest something, in this matter. But other than that, it really isn't effective. But that leads to the current petition that's going on right now. I don't want this to be an outright discouragement for petitioning, because right now, I know a lot of people have been seeing it go around. I expect that most of the people in the chat have actually signed it themselves. But there's one going around from the whitehouse.gov. Now, that is an actual federally sanctioned petition website. This one has some requirements from our government to at least look at an issue if it reaches a specific number. I believe it's 100,000 signatures. So right now, what is it, overturning the FDA decision? This is a opportunity for you to reach your executive branch through a petition. Now, the reason that this, I think, requires some attention is that we don't have a definitive position about our industry and our community from our executive branch in America. The White House has never actually made any statement for or against our harm reduction claims and for our industry as a whole. All politics aside, you can love Republicans, you can hate them, you can love Trump, hate him, what have you. All of that aside, this could at least give us that answer. I think we can all, make our assumptions, and I'm sure that we'll all agree that they're probably not for us. They like tobacco and pharma money. But we don't know, because there's a lot of talk of deregulation. There's a lot of talk of bringing manufacturing back. And these are arguments that might help. I mean, you talk about killing vaping, and you take a great manufacturer like Mr. Kennedy and just cut him off at the knees. Perfect example of American-made manufacturing. Right here. Cutting them off at the knees. How many e-liquid companies are made in this country?
Q80 Vapor is pretty much, it lives off what this country stands for, is small business. What supposedly this country stands for. It's small business and creating work, manufacturing something within the country that it's being sold in, primarily, and making profit that way, because you don't have to worry about tariffs and all that stuff. Everything is being manufactured in the States. That is one of the base things this country stands for. That's what our so-called president is all for. And think of all these American-made juice companies out there, or liquid companies. A lot of their stuff, I would say 95% of I would say 99.9% of the American market is manufactured in the States.
Mm-hmm. I mean, realistically, neither one of us showed a single product tonight, as far as e-liquid was concerned, that wasn't manufactured in the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, I know of a handful of vapors who like to order stuff like Malaysian products and that sort of thing. And this is in no way, meant to bash those products. I can't even speak to what those flavors and products are like to vape. But I know personally, every e-liquid I vape is a U.S.-made e-liquid. Because even though my 12 Monkeys is a Canadian company, it's manufactured in the U.S. for sale here. You have co-packers in different countries. That's how these products get made in different places. And so that's a lot of American-made manufacturing getting cut off at the knees. This is exactly what we talk about when we say, remember who you're talking to. Because different sides of this fight have different things that they tend to resonate with more. So when you start talking to, Republican legislators about the destruction of American jobs, the destruction of American businesses, the destruction of manufacturing in America, things like that, they're going to actually listen to you. Now, when you're talking to your Democrats and you start telling them about the destruction of a life-saving technology that can, proven at this point with 10 years plus study from the Royal College, can literally change the lives of current day smokers. they're going to start to listen a little more. And so it's really about knowing how to tailor your message to your listener. You think about that whenever you meet a new individual at a party and you don't know who they are. You kind of tailor your approach to that individual till you get to know them, and then it's like, all right, this is me, like this is all of me. That's the same idea. You always want to tailor that approach so that this way you have their ear. And to bring it back to the whole point of this, that whitehouse.gov petition is an opportunity to actually get your executive branch's ear. And right now, that's the last hope. Like, this is a Hail Mary pass. Hope it makes it. Probably won't. But, God bless us if it does. It's a Hail Mary. We all need to do it. Even people like us who genuinely are a little bit apathetic about the effectiveness of any of the petitions. We all need to do it because, like I said, this is a Hail Mary pass.
This is the closest chance we have of actually something getting into the executive branch. Because that's the one, like you were saying, that's the one branch that has left their opinion unknown to the world. They haven't said anything. They haven't made any response to anything of what's going on. So,
yeah, nothing. I mean, I know countless vapors tweet at members of the White House and never get any response back about their questions or anything. So we know how much this current fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. This current regime, we know how much they enjoy their Twitter, and we can't get a response even there. So it definitely leaves us curious. It leaves us in the dark, and if anything, it's worth knowing where we stand there. Again, I urge people to know where your effort's going, and grassroots. Go grassroots. That's always going to be the most effective. You think about Bernie Sanders and the huge draw that he created a few years back. It was a grassroots movement. It was one man energizing a handful of people, and they were so energized they brought that energy to a handful more, and so on and so forth. And one rally got bigger, and the next rally got bigger, and the next rally got bigger, and then it was like, hey man, you're more than a senator, you should try running for president, bro. This is what we need to do for vaping. We need to get that rally, and we need to get it rolling. I've called for things like marches at state capitals. I don't know a lot, but I can say enough. I know enough to say that there are people who see that and believe that too. I'm in no way, shape, or form involved in any organizing of anything at this time. If anybody watching is involved in organizing these things, holler at your boy. I'd love to get involved. That being said, people are already starting to put their wheels in motion to do this in different places. So we can do it. We started to do it before in different times. When the Dick Durbin bill was the big issue at the time, and his flavor ban, I was fortunate to be part of the planning of one for Texas. And granted, I'm not even able to help from Massachusetts in that vein, except for learning and understanding so I could take some of that knowledge elsewhere. But it's surprisingly easy to pull a protest permit. And all you got to do is not block people's path, and you can protest right outside of your state house with that permit. No problem. You can do the bullhorn, you can wave your signs, you can gather. As long as people can actually walk on the sidewalk with you, You can do it. So you could surround the whole goddamn state house if you wanted to, all the way around it, with people who want to protest. Trust me when I say 100 loud vapors outside of your state house, super effective. I always bring it up that I did this in my state during the push to legalize cannabis, and our state succeeded. I joined in some of those rallies. I joined in some of those protests. I saw how those organizations were doing what they were doing, and it all comes down to changing the public opinion. When you look at cannabis use, the public opinion just 30, 40 years ago was that it was the devil's lettuce and that only the worst of the worst people would smoke weed. Now, we have half our country with medical marijuana. That is a huge shift in my lifetime. So we can do this because it's a whole lot of science to back us up in our stance on vaping. A whole lot. 10 years of studying. I will always beat that damn drum. 10 years of studying vapor products. Dude.
I kind of want to bring everything back a little bit and kind of go more into like what petitions have done in the past and how they've correctly been used and unified. So we all know that there's been petitions where, like you were saying, where they involve marches as well. That is something that needs to happen because if you think about it, you get those people that sign, but you can also get those people, if all those people that signed that petition showed up somewhere in one unified place, it shows something to the legislators that can't be shown on a piece of paper. It shows unification. It shows everybody standing by with each other and fighting for something that they believe in. That is something the government has to take to a grain of salt. They have to, because they're going to see, because if you're, like Sean says, if you're standing in front of the legislation building protesting and I wouldn't say causing a ruckus, but letting your voice be heard.
Yeah, making your noise.
Yeah, making your noise
respectfully.
And, yeah, doing it in a manner to where you're not disrespectful. You're just peaceful protesting is. I will always stand by it. But the one thing always has to be used is the word peaceful. You can't be a lunatic yelling out, insulting people like we've seen in protests and marches that have happened in the recent few years.
Mm-hmm.
There's no place for it. You're not going to get your message across because nobody's going to take you seriously.
Look at Occupy. That went horribly wrong. Great message, went horribly wrong. Got turned all upside down, and it made those people's message get completely lost. People just thought they were a bunch of dirtbags. And by and large, they kind of were. I mean, they trashed places. It was rude of them. Peaceful protest is your constitutional right in America. It's your right. That being said, you have to do it the right way. And it's not hard. You know, you're not. This isn't a picket line outside of a union strike where you're trying to prevent your legislators from coming and going peacefully. But at the same time, you've got 20 or 30 people by the doors with signs that say, you know, vaping is not a crime. Vaping is 95% safer than smoking, and all this other, you know, stuff. And you're actually having civil conversations with anybody who wants to confront your opinion, you start to change minds. And next thing you know, you could do this again and people will join you that weren't there before. And so that 100 turns into maybe 150. And then it becomes 300 the next time. And then it becomes 600 the next time. And then it becomes 1,000. And all of a sudden, your legislators are looking out the window at a sea of 1,000 people on, the village green or whatever it might be, because, now you have to hold it in a special space that can accommodate your crowd. You'd be surprised how effective it is. It has worked countless times. One of my favorite examples is if you could imagine doing something like an NVE or a Vapors Carnival. Only admission is free because it's held in a public area where everybody can come and go. Could you imagine how effective our message would be?
I want to bring that up really quick since you brought it up. Vapors Carnival is going on in Raleigh, North Carolina this weekend. If you're in that area, if you're in the North Carolina area, I highly recommend you going to that expo, because that is an expo doing it right, because they're not doing it for just companies showing up. They're specially picking companies who are in it for the right reason. And that expo's main goal is to bring in the smokers. They actually have people to where the people organizing the event will take you around and get you. I remember the last one that was in. I remember seeing Klowne and Thick Nick talking about it, to where they had that giant glass box right when you entered, where if you had a pack of cigarettes on you, put it in there, and they'll take you around and get you a set. They'll provide you a setup.
Yep.
They take you around to the owners of these companies, and you get to actually talk to them and learn stuff, and learn what vaping actually is from the people behind the scenes of it, the manufacturers themselves. That is something I can't even comprehend of why nobody is pushing this kind of expo for being every expo. That should be the message behind every single expo that's out there. It really should be, because that's what we're all here for, is to inform people and to educate people, but also get those people who haven't found this industry and people who are smokers into a safer alternative. That's what we want. That's a goal of ours. That's what we all strive to do. And if we keep doing that, more people will get involved. And so that is something I can't stress enough, to where if you know anybody who's an event organizer, tell them about how Vapors Carnival does their stuff, and give them the idea. Why don't you do this? Why don't we have a bigger and broader message out there besides just playing loud music, people having fun? Even though a lot of the times it's usually going there to see people you haven't seen in a while and staying out with friends, but there's also a bigger picture involved. And that's what everybody needs to see. Everybody needs to see that there's more to Expos and more to this industry than just buying product, seeing people that you've wanted to see, that you've talked to on the internet or seen on social media. It's all about getting those smokers in there and making the change, converting them to vaping, to get them on this life-saving alternative. That's what we want. That's what we should be an overall goal for everybody in this industry.
It's why we fight.
Yeah, we fight for those people who are outside right now smoking a cigarette.
I mean, flat out, I know people who I'm actively trying to get to switch now, as we speak. And, that's the goal. Each one teach one. If we can give any of you knowledge you didn't have, and you can go share that with somebody else, and then that enlightens that individual, we're all doing our part to better this world. Vaping gave us that back. It gave us a way to better ourselves, and in turn gave us an opportunity to help others better themselves, because we do it to each other on a regular basis. Our friends in the vape industry are some of the most important friends we have, because they actually lift us up. We're friends because we build these bonds, and that's something that I hear it time and time again. we've never seen that in other circles. And our community being as small as it is right now, a lot of us have been able to do that and build those bonds and lift each other up. And you know something? That's how this whole industry got built. You know, it was one guy who had already made it and saw his buddy mix an e-liquid and was like, "Bud, you got something here. And I've already made it, so let me help you make it now." You know, they went and got theirs and then went back and got some more for their people. You know, that's how we've always been. And changing lives is what it's about. I can't wait to convert the next person. Conversion is key to me. You know, it's king. That is number one. Because every smoker we get off of cigarettes and onto vaping is one more person whose life is positively impacted. And trust me, those people, I think we can all remember, if it was a person who introduced us to vaping, we all remember who it was. Every last one of us. Because that person gifted us with an opportunity to better ourselves. And now the universe asks us to continue to do that work. And we're here to answer the call. We're driven. Let's do it. Let's save vaping and save people's lives by introducing them to vaping. It sounds profound, but it's not. It's just political activism and vape advocacy.
That's all it comes down to. It's very simple. It's probably one of the easiest things that people choose not to do. It really goes by that. It's something that everybody needs to be involved in, and it's to the point now to where we have to, because we're fighting with our backs against the wall. And the more people we get to make the change, the more people we have that will stand by us as brothers and sisters in this industry to save a life-saving industry. That is something that you can't write down on a petition. You can't type it in and send it to somebody. That's the thing. An email may be nice, but your voice is the most important thing that you've created with yourself. And that's what we want to encourage all you to do, is use your voice. Because without that, nobody's going to be informed. That's what we want to do. That's what we strive to do. And we hope that what we strive to do lights that fire in your heart and helps you, wants you, and gives you that want and need to do the same thing. We're not doing this for our personal gain. We're not. We have nothing to gain out of this from ourselves. We're doing this for all of you. Everybody. People outside right now smoking a cigarette. We're doing this for them. It's just that simple. It's crazy how black and white it is, but some of the greatest things in life are simple. And that's what we do.
And ain't that the truth?
On that note, guys, we're getting towards the end here. We've kind of made our points across of what we want to talk about today. We'd like to thank everybody who's stuck in there with us. I know there's a couple of the shows going on right now that may have drawn other people's attention. That's fine. That's why there's a replay. Come on in, check us out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know when me and Sean go live next Wednesday. And yeah. You have anything coming up on your channel, Sean? Any rants coming up?
Yeah, man. I gotta get a little bit of time because time is tight right now, but I have one coming. There's a couple of things I need to get off my chest about a couple of the things that are going on. You know, you guys might have heard a little bit about it here already, but I get to elaborate a little bit. And so we're going to do that. So that is coming up. And, of course, you guys can always catch me over on the Green Room on the Frames Janklin Vapor channel, Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Y'all can do the math to get those other two. You know, and love doing that. these two shows are the things I look forward to every week to keep me motivated, guys. And I hope that we get to keep you motivated. And with that, I'm going to have to hit you with the sign-off like I always do. Don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. That touches on something we spoke about earlier. And always keep it cloudy. And anyway, what do you got going on this Saturday, Mr.
This Saturday, I have my next episode of What's Your Story. And I'm not going to give you guys of who's going to be on, but I'll leave you guys with this before we sign out. You guys are going to want to tune into this because it's going to be one goat of a time.
Oh, shit.
That's all I'm going to say. And on that note, everybody,
gotta catch that.
I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week. And hope to see you guys all in chat on Saturday. Come hang out with me and my guest. And yeah, let's just keep on vaping, guys. That's all we can do. Keep on vaping and keep on fighting. Is there anything else to it? I don't think so. On that note, guys, have a good night. Be safe. And yeah, see y'all later.
And eat tacos.
And eat tacos. Ah.